day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. Yes, the love of God is here. Yes. Welcome.
Woo, thank you, Gwen, Al. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Reverend Jean Bell. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm the Associate Minister here at the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. And welcome. Welcome to all of you viewing on Facebook and YouTube Live. Please like and share this broadcast so we can continue to spread the good news of New Thought out into the world. I am so glad you're here. If you are a first-time visitor, please, by all means, see a welcome team member out in the hallway. They have a gift especially for you. Our theme of the month is standing on sacred ground. And I can't wait to get started. I will be your speaker today. Reverend Dr. David Alexander is off, so you got me. All right, we're going to read our monthly affirmation. Our monthly affirmation. So I almost started to say weekly. I've been doing a weekly affirmation myself. And I'm going to read it all the way through, and then I'm going to invite you to say it along with me. Yes? Yes. All right, here we go. I'm standing on holy ground. Right where I am, love abounds. I see and affirm the awakening of Christ consciousness in me, as me, and through me. I become a vessel of greater peace, love, and grace in this world. All right, let's take that in and let's say it all together. I am standing on holy ground. Right where I am, love abounds. I see and affirm the awakening of Christ consciousness in me, as me, and through me. I become a vessel of greater peace, love, and grace in this world. And so it is. Please welcome Mally Lapete with the announcements.
Hello, all my returning lights. You are beautiful. Hello, I'm Mally Lapete. My pronouns are she and her, and I serve on the creative arts team at SLCA. We have so many great opportunities to connect, grow, serve, and give. So, for more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, please scan the QR code found on your monitor. Last month, we announced that a generous member of our SLCA community offered a $25,000 match to help us meet our 2024 obligations. We've got a lot of momentum going, thanks to another dedicated member. Wow. As of this morning, we are 50% towards reaching our goal of matching the $25,000 gift. And we're confident. We're confident that with your help, we will meet or surpass this goal. Please consider making an additional end-of-the-year gift so we can match this $25,000 gift. Thanks. We're so excited to announce that once again we will join UUCA on Tuesday, Christmas Eve in the morning at 9 a.m. for a pancake breakfast. If you like pancakes and you like community, I'll be there. We'll have fun. This is a wonderful opportunity to connect with others. It is indeed. And you should look in on the kitchen because they have all these mixers mixing the batter, and it's just my kind of happiness. We have a wonderful opportunity to connect with others. I already said that. Penelope Williams will be blessing us with holiday music as well. In addition, there will be 2 worship services that evening, one at 5 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. with the UUCA community. I hope to see you there. Please come. We plan now to make the most popular service of the year what you do next Sunday, the 29th. Our practitioners and ministers will host our annual Burning Bowl and White Stone ceremony. Are you ready to release the things that no longer serve you and set your intentions for 2025? Shaking heads. Yes. Good. Invite a friend to come with you and do the same thing. This is a service that you don't want to miss. Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to visiting with you afterward in the fellowship hall for food and fellowship. And remember, you belong.
Open your mind, unfold your heart, relax your senses, feel every part. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. Take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound. Breathe every breath. Release your cringe. Love without waiting. Slowly unhinge. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. Take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound.
This is what I know. What a perfect time of the year to come together and to understand how we are one with our Creator, with the infinite Spirit, that divine presence that says that I am a part of it, not outside of it. I am one with it. And because I am one with that power, that presence, all is well and all is good. I look out and I see so many beautiful presences, and it gives me such joy, such love, such gratitude that it overflows. It just comes through me in waves, and it is so beautiful. It gives me an opportunity to reflect on all that has been provided for me, and all that comes to me with ease and with grace, because I recognize that there is only one power, one source, and one good. And it is at this time of the year that I know that even more as I gather with friends, gather with family, break bread, and say, I love you. And so it is in this time now that I say thank you for sharing with me that love, that joy. Thank you for your presence with me and the opportunity you give me each and every day to share that with you. I'm so grateful for this center. I'm so grateful for our minister, Reverend David Alexander. And I'm so grateful for each and every one who shows up every Sunday and says, I give her my heart here. If you're in agreement with this treatment, please say with me together. And so it is.
You can stop waiting for love to find you. Look inside your heart. Love's already who you are. So lift up your voice. Let it be heard. Tell me your story. Don't leave out a word. 'Cause I think I've been there too. I'm a seeker just like you. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. Take your God and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound.
Thank you, Practitioner Tony Jenkins. This is our time for grateful giving. We give, we receive, and we are blessed. And one of the things that we have been blessed with is with a $25,000 gift so that we can start our matching fund program. And as Melly told us a little earlier today, that we are halfway there. So I'm asking you, think about that. Help us achieve that $25,000 match, if you can. Because this ministry, this philosophy, has changed so many lives. I know it has changed mine. And that's why I do what I do every day. Not just Sunday, but every day. It's touched my heart, it's touched my mind, my body. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to all of you who give, to all of you online who give, that have never stepped a foot in this building. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all. And there's so many ways that you can give. You can either text to give, and the phone number is 404-800-9467, or you can give online to SLCA.com donations. Or you can give through the receptacles that are on either side of the sanctuary. Or you could be a pledger like myself and give electronically every month or week. But however you give, excuse me, I am grateful. We are grateful. So join us in the grateful giving affirmation. I'm going to read it, and I want you to join with me. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Everybody, stretch out your arms towards these offerings and let us know that our coffers are filled to overflowing with these blessings. We are truly grateful for the Spirit of living God as our source and substance, for we know that that is the true source of all things. Pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. This divine consciousness is always available, and we say yes to it, and so it is.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Join me if you feel like on that. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I'm light. I am 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 not the my age, I am not my race, my soul inside is all light, is all light, all light, all light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I am light.
I am light. Give it up for them again. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Al. Yes, good afternoon again. My name is Reverend Jean Bell, if you're just joining us, and I am your speaker today. And we're going to be talking a lot about light. Light. Our monthly theme is standing on sacred ground. I want you to know that wherever you're standing, that ground is sacred. Know that all of the omnipresence of Spirit is right there, right where you are. And you know this divine presence is always whispering, always. I am with you always, and all that I have is yours. And you know, I am here today not to remind you, but to remind us of who we truly are. You know, when I think about it, I get emotional because we are all expressions of infinite potential. The one power that is back of everything, and it's everywhere. We live and we move and we have our being in it. And it is living and moving and having its being in us. It is omnipresence. We are always standing on sacred ground. Take that in. Breathe that in. You are its awareness. You are an outsource, an outpicturing of that divinity. All of its wisdom and love, all of its light and joy. You have never been without it, not one time. You, we, are all expressions of the divine. Yet, through whatever experiences we may have had in this thing called life, we might not have been taught the truth of our divine nature. Or if we were taught it, these words may have just become nice platitudes, empty of any true meaning. And for some of us, it is hard, so hard to believe we are divine. And we begin to stumble around in the darkness, forever searching for the light or for someone to show us the way. The darkness of the seeming separation from spirit, it can be frightening. You know, I think back at the time when I was a little girl, when I was about 5. I had to temporarily sleep in the living room. I don't know if they were painting, moving stuff around. I didn't care. It was an adventure. And I was like, I get to sleep in the living room, the big living room, all by myself. And when everybody in the house is all quiet, I would get up and I would go to the window, and the couch was right there. And I would look out the window, and it was all dark. And I would look at the cars going by. I would look up at the stars, the moon. I loved the night sky. It was so vast and beautiful. And for a 5-year-old little girl, it was everything for me. You see, I wasn't afraid of the dark. Not yet. That was going to come later when I found out there were monsters in the world. Well, really, there were monsters on TV. You see, one evening, my mother was preparing dinner, and she chose a television program for me to watch, and the program ended. And I wasn't supposed to change the channel, so I decided to change the channel. Well, I tuned into an old black and white movie about Dracula. And as I sat there and I listened to this really spooky music and this really weird-looking, creepy dude sneaking up on this sleeping lady who all of a sudden woke up and began screaming. Do you know I bounced up and I began screaming and ran into the kitchen. I grabbed my mother's leg because I was short. And I'm peeking down the hall wondering if this creepy dude was going to pop out of the TV and chase me. So once she inquired what was the problem, and I got reprimanded for changing the channel, she told me that it was just a movie. Well, me being young, her explanation was no reassurance at all. It was too late. It was too late for my young mind to unsee what I saw. Bela Lugosi with a widow's peak and fangs with blood dripping down. That was impressed upon my mind even to this very day. You see, my innocence was gone, and I became afraid of the dark because I lost sight of my true nature. You know, and for our ancestors, they too had a fear of the dark. And they longed every year for the return of the light of the sun. And as some of you may know, yesterday was the winter solstice, and it is still upon us. But today, dawn will break a little earlier, and the night won't be so long. And you know, and the winter solstice occurs when either of the Earth's poles reach its maximum tilt away from the sun. So, of course, like I said, it's the shortest daylight and the longest, darkest night of the year. I used to live in Germany, and it was almost an hour and a half difference of darkness for us. The sun didn't come up until after 8 in the morning, and it set at 4:30 during the winter time. I used to go to work in the dark, and I would come home in the dark. The only saving grace for me was the Weihnacht markets, the Christmas markets, because they had warm wine, which I love to drink. I still do. Since prehistory, the winter solstice has been a significant time of year for many cultures, especially the northern hemisphere, as it signals the moving away from the darkness towards the light. The day lengthens and provides light, which is needed for warming the earth in preparation for planting crops. This day was often celebrated with festivals and rituals, and some places still do, for they knew that they wouldn't have to be in darkness for much longer. Today, we take this for granted with all of our artificial light. 24 hours a day, we could have light. We could never, ever have to be in the darkness unless we had a blackout. Our ancestors, however, were dependent on the natural sources for light, the sun, the moon, the stars, to see their environment, to guide them on their journeys, for warmth, to grow crops. That sun-warming rays, it provided life and growth for all things. And our ancestors discovered and began to use the light of fire and cooking for protection from predators that lurked in the darkness. Light became synonymous with security and well-being. They guarded the fire for fear that it could be extinguished and the darkness would engulf them once again. We can understand why our ancestors held the external natural light in such high esteem. For light, for them, meant life. It reminds me of the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. How many of you have seen that movie? That's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, take time to look it up. He was in an airplane and it went down and he got stranded on a tropical island. And it took many, many attempts for him to make fire. He even got blisters on his hands from trying to make fire. But when that fire finally was set ablaze, that premortal joy, that primitive joy, he started dancing around the fire, just like our ancestors did, pounding on his chest, talking about, "Look what I have made fire." He wasn't talking to anybody because nobody was there. But he was stoked about that fire because he knew the light, the warmth, and the protection of what that fire meant to him. It meant everything for his survival. Our ancestors learned through experience and observation and developed faith in the return of the light each season as it passed. And as a result, they were able to plan and prepare for dark times and built up reserves by learning the seasonal laws of nature. Throughout their lifetime, and their parents before them, they witnessed that the darkness always gave way to the light. Our ancestors became curious about this dance of nature, the darkness and the light, for they both held such importance in their lives. They began to ponder this and other esoteric questions of life, and they began to look within themselves for the answers. And as they earnestly sought those answers, they became aware of an indwelling presence. And they often described this indwelling presence as a divine light, because this indwelling light enabled them to see so much further than the human eye could see. And the more these sages, shamans, and mystics turned within and became aware of this indwelling presence, the more this light shone forth in their very countenance. They were literally aglow with spirit. Yet even though they rejoiced in the return of the light, their wisdom, they knew that they must not vilify the darkness, because they knew a planted seed needed the darkness just as much as the light to grow. The seed needs the darkness for its expansion, for it to break forth into its greater yet to be. And a lot of times, we, in our own ignorance, we stay in the darkness. We stay right there. And we forget who we are. We forget that we're sons and daughters and children of the Most High. Not because we want to. It is because this gravity that we get caught up in, the things that are in this world, seem so much realer than what's inside of our own being, the divine truth. And because of the times that we do not take to go within, to meditate, to do our affirmations, to do our spiritual mind treatments, we get caught up in what's in the news cycle and who's doing what to who and why we're in the situation that we're in. We forget that our divine nature is light. It always has been, and it always will be. And just as that physical light aided our ancestors in dispelling the darkness, we too can turn within and become aware of our own indwelling light. Light that is forever whispering to us, be not afraid. The glory of our love, the glory of our wellness, that joy which is spirit divine, is everywhere present. As I said before, we are always standing on holy ground. I was listening to Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. He did a podcast and he was talking to Marianne Williamson. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said, we get so caught up with the lampshades of who we are. I'm black, I'm white, I'm gay, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, I'm a practitioner, I'm a minister. And we forget the light that is underneath the lampshade. He continued to say that that light that we are, that's underneath, is eternal. The lampshade is temporary. We have to identify with what is eternal that is within us. And at times, we are not doing that. We put that what is external first. The Master Teacher Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of its righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. Well, we all know in this metaphysical philosophy that the kingdom of heaven is right within us, that we are to go within and to seek a connection, that divine connection with spirit. And when we do that, that's when our light does shine. Because our light is needed here, now, and more than ever. A lot of people have called me, have emailed me, texted me, and said, 2025 is going to be I can't say that word. 2025 is going to be a storm. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? How are we going to get through the next 4 years? Right. And I'm like, have you treated? Have you done your prayer work? Have you gone within? Have you made that connection and that alignment with the divine presence that you are? Because it does not matter what happens in the external. It's what's happening that's within you that's important. When you are grounded in this philosophy, when you are anchored in this philosophy, an anchor keeps a ship fast, tightened to the shore. No matter what wind is blowing, it does not move. At any time, a little wind, whether that wind could have orange dust, or blue dust, or red dust, it doesn't matter the color of that wind. If you are anchored in this philosophy and you know who you are, if you know that you are the light of the divine, it can blow and you're still standing strong. Because that's what's important. You standing strong in this philosophy, in this truth about who you really are. And that's where our practices come in at. That's where our meditation comes with. That's where community comes in at. That's why you come on Sundays. That's why you look in the newsletter to find out when the next hiking event is going to be, so that we can be together and remind each other who we are. divine incarnations of the one power. Because no matter what, you're always standing on sacred ground. But do you believe it? Do you know it to be true? And that's what we're here to remember all the time. That Spirit is with us always, and all that it has is ours. You are an incarnation of the divine. So are you. I know that I am, and there's times that I forget, like when I'm driving on 285. I do forget. And my mouth begins to start forming to say all kinds of things. And I remember to say, oh, bless you, you incarnation of spirit, you. You go forth and be safe. Cut me off. You know, because when you know and when you truly know that you're the light, your light, it can never go away. Not on 285, not because who is going to be in the White House, not who's going to be on the stage of world politics in Germany. None of these things matter when you know the darkness in all of its seeming threats no longer has any power. And every now and again, I have to remind the little girl within me that the monsters on TV and the monsters on the screen of life are just shadows of darkness that are dispelled by the light of my consciousness of spirit in me. She believes it sometimes. She still doesn't watch spooky movies. She don't want nothing to do with that. Ernest Holmes says, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness, by becoming exactly what it is, light. That's powerful. If you ever enter any dark room, you flip the switch and the darkness is gone. You don't know where it goes. You don't care. We don't even think about that anymore. It's just a flick of the switch. And that's where we should be in consciousness. We should remember who we are at all points in time. And when we forget, we should pause and stop and go, not today, Satan. Not today. That was one of my favorite lines in the Games of Thrones. What are we going to tell death? Not today. What are we going to tell the darkness? Not today. We have the power to overcome the darkness of our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, the darkness of feeling separate, othered. Have you ever felt othered? Have you ever felt like when you walk into a room or you're in a business meeting because you're a woman, because you're gay, because you're black, because you're Hispanic, because of whatever you are being othered, and you're not being taken seriously? That is the time to realize that you're never alone. We have the power just by being who we truly are. Divine emanations of spirit. And we've got to remember that. Our ancestors learned that through observation, and they developed faith that the darkness would always yield to the light. We too have to have that same faith that we are guided by an eternal light in all our ways as we move forth in this very thing. We do not face the same terrors and predators of the night. We have new ones. Right? And they live majority of the time rent-free in our own consciousness. Nor are we ignorant of the fact that the tilting of the earth on its axis is what gives the illusion of the illumination of light, the sun, being limited. The sun is always shining. It is always shining, as is the light of God that is in the midst of your very being. It can never be extinguished. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, he said, we become conscious of the darkness only when we are without faith. For faith is ever the light of our day and the light of our way, making that way clearly visible to us, even when to all others it may be beset with obstacles and the ongoing rough. When things, circumstances, or events seem the darkest, ask yourself, what would light do? You know how that button used to be, what would Jesus do? What would light do? Light shines. It shines. So remember, the ground that you're standing on is sacred ground because of who you are, Spirit's light. Be a beacon of light, dispelling the darkness of ignorance, hatred, fear, and shine the divine attributes of love, light, life, joy, power, peace, and wisdom. Let your light serve as a reminder of the omnipresence of Spirit that is always within you. And let us remember this day and forevermore who we are, the light of God. And so it is. Practitioners, would you please come forth? I'm going to do a little prayer, but I'm going to remind you that the practitioners and the ministers here at this center are available for prayer, for affirmative prayer. And there are some members in our community that are in need of prayer. Judy Hadley, her wife, is in the hospital. Barb Miller, let us know in our heart of hearts that she is receiving the care that she needs. My mother-in-law, Joyce Bufford, is in the hospital and cannot walk. Let us know together as we say this prayer in consciousness that there is truly only one power, one source, one divine substance that is back of all creation, and that a greater expression of wellness and health is taking place right here and right now. This divine power, this divine source is beyond comprehension. And so we sit back and allow it to be in the lives of our community members and our family. And with a heart filled with gratitude for a power that always says yes, when we turn to it, it has already turned to us. For we are never without it, and so it is. Thank you, SLCA.
Join us in singing Blessed Always to close out the service. And just a reminder to join us for some fellowship and refreshments downstairs in the community room. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say,